Hey everybody, this is Jimmy. I want to ask you a question. If I use the term aliens and strangers, what would you think? You would probably imagine, if I use the term alien, you'd probably think little green men from Mars. And if I use the term stranger, you would probably associate it with somebody that you should tell your kids to be leery of. But in the Bible, the term aliens and strangers is synonymous in King Jimmy language with the word immigrant. And the Apostle Peter, in his one of his letters to the churches, he told the church to think of itself as aliens and strangers, to think of themselves as immigrants. And as we go through the things that we're going through as a country with the immigration crackdown that we've recently been seeing through ICE, and the policy debates that we've been having about Donald Trump and such sort of things, I've been challenged to revisit this thought that the Apostle Peter had for us to think of ourselves as aliens and strangers, to think of ourselves as immigrants. I think there's a hostility that we, even as Christians, have towards people who are aliens and strangers, towards immigrants and people from other countries. And such is an attitude that we should not have, because the Apostle Peter asks us to identify ourselves as aliens and strangers. He asks us to take on the identity of an immigrant. So instead of being so tied down and so American and so patriotic and so nationalistic in our mindset, the Apostle Peter would have us to have the exact opposite attitude. He would ask us as Christians, even living in America, as citizens born in this country, not to think of ourselves first and foremost as Americans, but to think of ourselves first and foremost as immigrants. And as such, as immigrants, as Christians, we should look at ourselves as such and have great empathy with those who are here as actual immigrants in America, who have come here, whether they have come here legally or illegally. We should still have an identity with them. We should empathize with them. We should have an understanding with them. We should have a sense of solidarity with them and their struggles, because likewise, as Christians, we're supposed to have something of the same struggle in our soul, and what issues they face, we should readily identify with ourselves as people who live in this world as aliens and strangers, as immigrants, as somebody who is not from around here. Even as Christ, who said that he was not of this world, but he came from another world, that he came from above. So as Christians, we are supposed to identify as immigrants and strangers, as a foreigner, as somebody from out of town, because ultimately that is what our Lord himself embraced in his identity. He didn't get tied down to the fact that he was a Jew and he was born of Israel's stock. Rather, he looked at himself as coming from another world. And we as Christians are supposed to be of the same mindset, a heavenly mindset, if you will. So anyway, this is Jimmy. I just wanted to toss this out there for the debate that we're having right now in our country between the Donald, the Christian, and the immigrant. Have a good day.